All right, so today's video, I have no MPC in front of me. It's got nothing to do with music production, but it's gonna be more about video production and just like my behind the scenes setup with how I film my YouTube videos. That is a question that I keep getting asked, and that's a video that I've been wanting to do because I'm a huge camera nerd. There's just so much that goes behind filming a video. I'm gonna do my best to make it as short as I can. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee with you and enjoy this, and while I'm actually having a sip of coffee, just a side question, what do you guys prefer if you're a coffee drinker? Do you do hot coffee or iced coffee? Let me know down in the comments. I'm preferably iced coffee, but today I'm just lukewarm coffee, which I'm cool with. Now, one thing I do want to let you know before I dive into this is I do not make a living off of these YouTube videos. They do help out a lot, but this is not my bread and butter. My wife and I, we own a video and photography business. So we do a lot of commercial work for small businesses around the area. And that's what we make a living off of. That's how we pay our bills. So when it comes down to cameras and photos and all that stuff, I'm big on that. I don't take that lightly. I don't just buy any camera. I'm very picky with that. So the gear that I'm going to be mentioning in this video is going to be overkill for YouTube. It's just, this is what I have and this is what I use. So of course, this is what I film my videos with. But what I am going to do is, as I'm mentioning the gear that I use, I will also link down in the description an alternative, a budget-friendly camera that I highly recommend if you guys are interested in picking up like a video filming kit setup. I'll leave links down in the description, so make sure you guys are checking those out if that's something that caught your attention. Now let's start off with my first step when I'm setting up for a YouTube video. The first thing that I connect is going to be my microphone. This is like the first thing that I go to, and the microphone that I'm using at the moment is the Shure SM7B. This is actually a microphone I picked up a few months ago, and it's been awesome. Like, I'm loving this microphone. I love the sound that it produces with my voice. Prior to this microphone, I was using this this Rode NTG3, which also sounds awesome. It has much more body than this one, but I just feel like this one's easier in the shot. And not only that, but when I'm editing or EQing my voice in post, it's just a little easier to process versus this one. But either or, like, these are two microphones that are amazing, and they're about the same price. Again, I'll leave links down in the description if you guys are interested. This is obviously connected to this cheap boom arm or desk arm. I don't know what this thing is called, but this one's a really cheap one. I actually have to upgrade. I got this one for like $30 in Amazon, but I recommend, I will leave some different recommendations because this one's about to die out on me. Now, after I have my mic set up, let's actually bring in the MPC. I connect my MPC, and then coming out of my MPC, I go into my recorder. That's what I'm gonna jump into next. But before I jump into the recorder that I'm using, just to make this clear, I have three sources. My microphone is one channel, and then my MPC is two channels because I'm coming out stereo, outputs 1 and 2. So in total, when I'm doing all my videos, it doesn't matter how much gear you'll see on this table, it's just three sources that I'm recording. My microphone and a stereo output from my MPC. Now, the recorder that I'm using, this is actually funny, but I'm a huge fan of this. It's gonna be the Zoom H6. The Zoom H6 honestly surprised me, and it's just crazy because when I purchased this Zoom H6, I remember clearly holding on to the receipt because I was like, I don't know, I don't have high hopes for it. It's gonna be, cheap preamps. Like, I might as well just record into my Apollo. Like, I have an Apollo right behind me, which has amazing preamps, but the Zoom H6 sounds so good. Like, I'm surprised on how good these preamps are, and it just gives you the flexibility to be able to record my voice in channel 1 and my MPC in channels 2 and 3. And when I'm recording this into an SD card onto the Zoom H6, it's doing a multi-channel recording, so it has everything separated. So when I'm importing my audio and my video into Final Cut, I have flexibility to mix my voice, probably add some compression, some EQ, a limiter, and then I also have separate channels for my my mix, my music mix, and I'm able to give it a quick master. So that's how I'm able to make the beat that I'm working on in the video for you guys sound good, and also my voice. I have separation of both, so that's been awesome. Another thing you can do with the Zoom H6, which is really cool, is let's just say you're like, I'm not gonna talk, I don't need no microphone microphone, I just want my MPC or my machine, come out of your MPC into the Zoom H6, set up your gain levels, and then come out of your Zoom H6. Forget about the SD card. There's actually a line out of the Zoom H6 that will allow you to go straight into your camera. And now in your camera, you could just select your input microphone to your line level. And now you're just getting clean audio from your MPC directly into your camera, and you don't even have to sync anything in post. So that kind of eliminates a step that you have to take in post, and it just does it everything like just so much faster. Now let's move forward with the next thing that I set up. The next setup that I have will be my lighting. Again, I mentioned in the beginning the cameras. I will leave some alternatives, some different options. You don't need to have these cameras, but the lighting part, if you're going to invest or you know, if I can tell you like this is what you actually do need to get, and I highly recommend you pick this up, is going to be the lighting part of this video. This is very important, and do not neglect your lighting. Now, if you're really on a budget, I would recommend you set yourself up next to a big window and let the sun come in and use that as your lighting source if you're really on a budget. But the lighting that I have 2 lights that I'm using on all my videos. I have my key light, which is right here, that's coming straight to my face. I have it like at a 45-degree angle where it's just kind of getting the side of my face. And the way I like to set this light up is I'll try my best to put it as close as I can to me, and I don't crank up that light all the way up to 100. I'll dim it down. It's at about 10%, so it's at a very low percentage, but I try to get it as close as I can to my face. The reason why I want it as close as I can is because it softens up my face a lot more and is not so harsh on my cheeks or on my forehead. It gives me more of a softer look, and it's a lot more pleasing versus cranking it up to 100. Now, the light that I'm using is the Godox SL60W. These lights are awesome. I actually purchased this SL60W because it's so cheap for what it gives you. I believe it's only like $100 and something. Again, I'm leaving links down in the description, but I thought this was just going to be a quick light for me just until I upgrade to something better. But I've had this for the past 4 years, and it's been amazing. And now for the second light that I'm using, this is actually a hair light, and this is a light that I have right behind me. I'm actually going to drop it in right here. You'll see a little bit right there. But this hair light is very important. This really pops me out of the background. I don't know if you can kind of see, but right here on the side of the sweater, it's kind of like lighting me up. As a matter of fact, I'll turn it off so you can see how it looks with and without it. Right now I'm turning it off. All right, that's without it. So, you know, it's a little darker on my left-hand side. But as soon as I turn on this hair light, okay, there you go. It just pops me out of the background. Again, I'm filming these videos. I'm in a corner. I'm up against the wall. I always recommend people to be away from the wall and have some separation so you can have some depth of field. But in my case, I don't have that space here where we live, so I'm up against the wall. And especially that I'm up against the wall, I really need this hair light to add some separation. Now, this hair light that I'm using, it is a Nanlite Pavotube C6. Again, I'll leave links down in the description. You have some different alternatives with these small lights. As long as it's a small light, you don't need no big light for your hair light. It's just a soft light that's just shining at the side of your shirt or of your hair. That's what it's meant for. Another thing why I recommend these hair lights is because they kind of give your video a 3D dimension. It gives a little more quality to your video. You could be filming on an iPhone or in a DSLR camera, and it's gonna look great because you have these 2 lights. Now, my key light is coming in right in front of my face, and my hair light is just kind of coming at the back of my body and is giving that 3D dimension from the wall. There's another light behind me. I don't know if you can see, but there's a blue light. This light right here, I think I got it on Amazon for like $50 or $40. You don't really need this light. This is just an extra light, but it's cool because I'm able to put that right behind me, and it adds, you know, some color to my videos. Again, the wall right behind me is just a gray wall. So it's a plain, boring gray wall. But when you buy one of these lights and if you guys can see, I'm switching out the color. So this is really cool because I really like using this purple one. it just gives me different backgrounds, and it looks like I have different setups in all my videos, but I really don't have different setups. It's just I change the color of that light and it gives the vibe just a different tone. So that light is awesome because it's a bi-color, and it allows you to change different colors and just different setups for your videos. So that's really, really handy. Now for my cameras, I have two cameras that I'm using. I have my camera A, which is like the main shot that you see that's filming my face, and then camera B that is actually a camera you'll see right next to me. And this camera B is usually just filming the MPC or whatever it is that I'm doing at the moment. The camera that I'm using is the EOS R5C. The R5C is actually an awesome camera. It's more like of a cinematic camera that they just released from Canon. The reason why I use the R5C again is not for YouTube videos, but is for the type of work that I do, the filmmaking work that I do. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we do a lot of commercial work with my wife. We do commercials for small businesses. Another really cool thing about the R5C is that it does not have a record limit, so I can record as long as I want. And I know when I put out my videos, they look like they're about 10 minutes long or 15 minutes long, but in reality, I'm filming these videos for like, man, there's times where I'm filming for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes nonstop. And then, of course, when I edit in my DAW, I cut it down to a shorter time. Now, for my camera B, I actually have the 1DX. It's focusing on my MPC or any type of hand gestures that I'm doing. So when I'm editing, I'm able to cut between these two cameras. Now, a quick little side note with cameras, these cameras could run pretty pricey. Some recommendations, as a matter of fact, right here, I have this Canon R, the EOS R. This is, honestly, is one of my favorite cameras. This thing, you could pick it up for about $1,000 or a little less used. Again, I'll leave some links down in the description. This camera, I filmed a lot of my YouTube videos with this EOS R. I actually put up some B-roll of some of the shots that I've taken with this. This is an awesome camera. It only shoots in 1080. It actually shoots in 4K, but it does a massive crop, which is, I don't even use the 4K on this. The 1080p on this camera is really good. Again, it's not the best. If you guys could spend a little bit more, I would recommend the Canon EOS R6. And I also noticed Canon just released some other newer cameras that are awesome cameras. But the reason why I recommend the EOS R, the R6, or these are cameras that I recommend because they allow you to shoot in log. And if you don't know what Canon log is or log shooting is, essentially it just allows you to have more flexibility in post when you're editing and color grading your footage, to be able to make the colors pop, and you kind of have like a certain tone or look to your videos once you're able to color grade it. And again, you would get more flexibility when you're color grading log footage. Now, another option that I would look into, and this is, do not sleep on this option. This is a camera, the Pocket 4K. As a matter of fact, I'll leave a link down in the description of Boombap Art. He actually just picked up the 4K. His videos look awesome, so you guys can kind of see what this can do. The only thing with the Pocket 4K is actually a cinema camera, and you guys can pick this up also for like around $1,000 or even less than $1,000 used, because this is the first 4K that they came out with. Now, when it comes down to my video process or my file organization, there's something very important and very crucial that I want to cover with you. When it comes down to getting all these different sources together, because this could be a little confusing. You got camera 1, then you got camera 2, and then you got microphone, and then you got your MPC, which is 2 channels. That's a total of 5 different files. And it's like, how am I going to get all these 5 different files and put them together in sync? It's actually easier than it sounds. I use, again, Final Cut. I'll show you guys how I do it. When I create a session that I'm gonna start editing, I actually create a parent folder, and I'll name it, for an example, MPC sampling tutorial. Once I have that created, in that parent folder, I will create a subfolder and call that video. So I grab all my SD cards that have video in them and store those video files into that video folder. And I also grab my SD card with my audio channels, and I throw those audio channels into that video folder. Once I have that created, I go ahead and create a new library or a new session for editing. And when I create that new session for editing, I save that session into that parent folder that I created called MPC sampling tutorial. It's all inside of this parent folder. Once I create my library and I'm ready to start editing, I just grab my video folder and I dump it into Final Cut Pro, into my timeline. Once I have it in my timeline to sync all these different sources, I could just select all these files since they're all in sync. You'll grab all your files and you'll just right click on your mouse, and then you're gonna have this option right here that says sync audio and video. And once you click that, it only takes a few seconds and it'll get everything and sync it together in one clip. Grab that clip, throw it in your timeline, right click it, and you can detach the clips, and then it separates everything for you. At this point, I'm able to color grade one camera, color grade the next camera, put some EQs, some compression on my voice, and some processing on my MPC, master my MPC file if I want, and I just kind of have my separation right there. All right, that's a lot of information, and I'm actually doing my best to consolidate this or to kind of like summarize my whole filming process, but it's a lot of work. The point of this is there's a lot that goes behind filming one video. It's not just turn on a camera and start filming whatever comes out. No, my process start to finish takes a very long time. I have to script my video. Once I script my video, I have to set up my cameras, film my video, import my footage, edit my video, export it, upload it, do the SEO, then take a photo for the thumbnail. And it's so much that goes behind these videos. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's worth it. I do it because I love doing this, and I enjoy the community that I have and the friendships that I'm building with you. Like, to me, that's all worth it. So I want to know, if you've reached to this point of this video, that means that you've stuck around and you're really interested in this process. Let me know down in the comments. Do you have a YouTube channel? Or are you somebody that just wants to film your beat making videos? I honestly, not just for people that want to start a YouTube channel, but I feel like just having a decent setup for filming for producers is very important nowadays, because everything is video now. And you might say, you know what, I don't want to be a YouTuber. I don't want to have a YouTube channel. I just want to display and show my beats to other people. If you are that person, it's still very, very important to have a good, at least a decent video setup, because nowadays, like I said, everything is video. Instagram, you know, if you want to show your beats, it's through video. You put your beat on top of that video. TikTok is through video. Now, yeah, you could just put your audio file in a photo, but it's just so much more intriguing when it's a video and you're showing a little bit of your process. Now, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'm more than happy. Again, I'm more of a video nerd than I am an audio nerd. So if any of you have reached to this point and want to talk about video cameras and just anything video related, let me know down in the comments. I'm more than happy to, and we could discuss some topics. Also, if you guys actually found this useful and want to know more about my filming process, let me know. Give me some suggestions down in the comments, and I'm more than happy to do more videos on videography for beat makers. So I hope you found this very useful. Again, thank you so much for sticking around. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.